Guys, this is one of my highly requested videos. I decided to film it today. As you can already see from the title, we're going to be talking about business, everything about running a business in Nigeria specifically while living abroad. If this is something you might be interested in, hit that like button right now and let's get right into this video. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Blessing. In case you're new here, welcome to the family. Today, like I said earlier, we're discussing business. I'll just give you guys a little background just because I know that some people might be new here and might not really know much about me. I'll put a time stamp in the description so you can just keep in case maybe any part that does not apply to you or you're not interested in, you can just skip to the next one. Okay, I'm a Nigerian based in the UK and I run a business back in Nigeria. Now this business, I've been in business for officially since 2017. That's when I started my business. I run a beauty supply store where we sell hair care products, wig tools. Before that, it was mainly hair extension, human hair extension, and then from there we added more and it's like a full beauty supply store right now. So like I said, business started officially in 2017. Even though I've been in business way before then, I've been running different businesses way before then, but my official registered and everything is 2017 till date. First thing I'm going to be talking about is why I decided to still keep the business, why I decided to keep running the business even though I am currently not in Nigeria. And the reason is because yes, I've been running a business for a long time and this business is like part of me, is something that I really love to do. And I did my research. I weigh my options to know if it's something I can still continue running even though I'm not around. So after doing my research and everything, I came to a decision and that is what I did. So like I said before, I started the business as just hair extension where I sell hair care, not hair care product, where I sell only hair extension, human hair extension. So I import hairs, good quality hairs, and that's like my trademark, what I was known for right from time. And the business name is BB Beauty Zone. So few years ago I traveled to Turkey and lockdown happened and I ended up spending about 8 months in the country. And this happened when I wasn't prepared to leave my business. Like my business could not really run properly without me. I had not built that business to the point that it can run on its own without me micromanaging my staffs and all that. So when I traveled then, it was hard to manage the business. It was not generating income as much because human hair extension business takes a lot of capital, and then it's not an everyday return business. It's not something you sell every day. So even though we do make sales, but then it's not something you say today I must sell hair. There are some days that might pass, we might not even sell one hair, and there are some weeks that will come, we'll sell hairs every day throughout the week. So and the money is in bulk. So when I was in Turkey then, business was not moving as much, even though yes, the COVID thing affected it in a way, but then it's if I had set some things in place before making that trip, would have still been able to generate sales and the business would still be running properly, the normal way a business should run. So during that period, it got me thinking that for this to happen like this, I need to do something about it. So I had to re-strategize, think of other things that I can include. Before I went fully into human hair extensions only, I used to make hair. I was a hairdresser, like I know how to make hair. I had once rented space in a salon in Abuja where I make hair and I was very good at it. But then after some time, after doing that for some years, I decided that I wasn't going to make hair. I would just focus on wig making and selling hair. So even though I was selling hair, people usually ask me what can they use for their hair, what can they do this, what can they do that. So because of that, I now decided to start selling little hair care products. Like somebody might come to get hair extension, I'll say, buy this one, this particular product will help in keeping the curls. This particular product, you need heat protector for your hair extensions and all that, because most of the customers might just come with their hair, I need it treated and all that, and I'll have to start suggesting products to them for them to do it themselves instead of spending money to giving different salons to treat their hair will get missing, sometimes it will get reduced, a lot of things just happens with the hair, and at the end of the day they'll come complaining to me. So I decided to start at least selling those products that I know will be helpful. So within that period, when I started re-strategizing, I was like, no, I think it's high time I start selling hair care product like in bulk, like a business, because I realized that it's an everyday business, is something that people use, is essential, especially to women. We need to wash our hair, make our hairs every day, we need to treat our hair, we need to comb our hair every day. So it's an everyday business. So I thought of it, I was now like, I did my research into that particular business. Of course, it's something that I already have an idea about. It's something that I've known of for years. So it was easy for me to easily know things I'm going to buy for a start, because when you're starting a new business, you don't want to just buy things for buying sake. You want to know the things that people buy more often and start from there. Then from there, you just keep growing. So I opened a different Instagram page for it, because at this time we only had BB Beauty Zone as Instagram page. So I opened another page and I named that BB Week 2s. So it's still under the name BB Beauty Zone, but we had to create a different name for that particular business. So it was just so when I created that page, I started posting hair care products. I started buying little by little, and then we started making sales. Like every day we make sales. So if in a week we sell hair twice, in that same week we'll sell hair care products like every day of the week. So it was additional for me, and because I have rent to pay and all that. So, and it goes hand in hand. People comes to buy hair, and then they see hair care product, they see comb, they see brushes, they see styling tools, hot comb they can style their hairs with, and it was just easy to just tell people what and what to buy, and they'll buy it. So that was the strategy behind it. So when the business kept on growing, I moved stores. I moved from a smaller store. By that time I was in Turkey, and I started ordering these things, and I had to start training my staff over the phone. It was the hardest thing to do, but I did it. I started training my staff over the phone. I only had one staff then, so I started training her how to do the deliveries and all that. So I'm the one that now manages the online platform from Turkey then. So we're managing it like that for few months, and then I went back to Nigeria from Turkey. So when I got back to Nigeria, by that time I'd already ordered some goods from different countries that sell them in bulk, because I didn't just want to keep buying from distributors in Nigeria. I wanted to start importing directly so that the price can be more reasonable, affordable, and then people will also want to buy from us instead of ordering from Lagos, because my business is situated in Port Harcourt. So most people order those things from Lagos, so it was easier for me. And even when I was selling only hair, I tend to order wig caps and everything from Lagos mostly. Then I order most of the things I use from Lagos, so I already know all these things. I had to buy directly from different countries, and then I started importing it. So before I came back, I already ordered some goods, so that came in like 1 week after I came back. I think that one was a US product goes, and so that was a kickstart for me. I was thankful that I came back at the time the goods arrived, and then that was it. We kicked off with BB Week 2s while I was still running the hair business. So the business kept on growing. So you can see what brought me here is the reason why I decided to keep the business. You can see that I've gone far in this business. This has been a huge part of me. So even though I've decided to move from Nigeria, there's nothing like home. Let me tell you guys, there is nothing like home. So I might decide one day that I need to go back to my country. I need to go back to Nigeria, and I'm sure that I have my business still running in Nigeria. I won't start from beginning, if you get what I mean. So, and I think Nigeria is a very good place for business if you know how to run it. So the fact that so many things are not working right, but you can still make it right, you can still do your own, you can still run your business successfully, if you know what I mean. That was why I decided to just keep the business. So now, when deciding if I should keep the business or not, I realized that hair business in particular is capital intensive, and it's not something we sell every day, and it's not something I think I want to I don't think I want to tie my money down like that because I'm not in the country. So it's easy for, I think it was easier for me when I was there. People really easily relate to me. Like I might wear hair and go out, and people will just buy it off me. That's how much I sell hair then. But I just felt like I don't think it's something that I can manage properly as I'm not in Nigeria currently. I had to decide if I want to keep the hair part of the business, hair section part of the business. So in December, I came to the UK in January. So in December, I decided we sold off most of the hairs but we did the season, we sold hairs in December, and then I had to turn the remaining hairs that I have to wigs, and that was it. I just decided that I'm going to study, so I wouldn't want something that would be too overwhelming for me. So I decided to pause. I won't say stop, I will say pause on the hair section of the business for now. This is something that I might revisit in the future. Let me just finish my studies first and everything. I'll know, and then I'll know how it goes. But for now, that is on pause. The tools, the product and tools part of the business is what we are running effectively now, because it's something that I can easily run without me being there. I can easily run it because I've put so many things in place for that to function very, very well. Taking stock for that one won't be as hard for me as the hair own. And everybody wants to do a business that you get returns immediately, so that you can keep restocking, right? So I can't be paying almost a huge amount of money, let me not mention, for a store space, and then I won't be able to meet up by the end of the year. It doesn't make sense. So that was why I decided to keep that part of the business. So now, like I said, in my decision, I had to decide what works best. I had to decide what will work for me before I could keep that business, if you get what I mean. I just felt I've been saying a lot, but I hope you get it. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is my struggles, guys. Of course there are struggles with this thing. We struggle a lot with so many things. Even though before I moved, I put so many things in place, guys. I did some research. I put so many things in place. But then we still struggle with a lot of things. Like recently we struggled with things like delivery. We struggle with struggles with staffs. Cause I have a very good staff that has worked with me for years, and I've trained her. But then we have issue with other staffs, cause then I decided that I needed more staffs. The more we grow, the more we need more hands on deck to do the job. So I've struggled a lot with staff. I've had to change like 2 staff since I got here, because they were not meeting up to what is required of them. They were not meeting up to it and all that, but thankfully we're in a good place. And yeah, we struggle with deliveries, we struggle with running a business in Nigeria is not easy, guys. Even though it's something that is doable, but it's not easy. Like the issue with lights, that's a problem. You pay for the NEPA bill, you don't have the light. You recently the governor stopped even delivery bikes in Port Harcourt. That was hell, and we're still trying to micromanage that right now, because now the cost of delivery is higher than usual, because we have to use Uber, we have to use taxi to make deliveries. And then for some customers that cannot pay that huge amount, which is very, very understandable, they will tell you, okay, they will make out time to come pick up themselves, and it's a problem, and it's really a struggle between us and customers and all that. Delivery has not been easy in Port Harcourt recently. Okay, like we might have deliveries within Port Harcourt up to, like, let's say 10 in a day. Let's say at least 10 in a day. And then at that time, I have a particular rider that I work with, that he will just come and pick up all this delivery, go do the delivery, and that's it. But now it takes more time, it take longer hours. We had to get taxi to do the deliveries and all that. So there's a struggle with that. We have the struggle of lights, like I said earlier, and then we had to run gen most of the time. And functionality generally in businesses in Nigeria, you have to work really, really hard, extremely hard, to make sure you still keep to that standard you want to keep. And yeah, it's a struggle. These are the things I can remember top of my head, but I remember, yeah, there's struggle with with customs. Once my goods come in with dollar rates, there's struggle with exchange rates is a problem. Most times when the goods come in, the amount for clearing alone is a lot. The clearing fee, the amount to clear the goods from custom. And then for some people that maybe your business is probably in Lagos, where most of the goods arrive first, once your goods arrive, you clear with custom, you have your goods in your office. But for us that are living in other parts of the city, we had to now pay extra fare to deliver to Port Harcourt. Most times my goods come into Lagos, after clearing and all that, I still have to pay up to, like, at times 300k to get them delivered to Lagos, to Port Harcourt. At times is even more, depending on how big the goods are. And of course, you won't blame them, they still consider fuel, gas, fuel, diesel and all that they use. There's problem with that. And yes, just mainly functionality in general, human resource and all that. There are struggles with that, but I'm sure these are things that you can still work with. There's nothing that is easy in this life. There's no business you will venture into that is easy. You still have your struggles and all that. It's just for you to find different ways to mitigate those problems. That's just the thing. So those are my struggles. So I know someone might want to ask, you're not in Nigeria, you're living abroad and you're running your business back in Nigeria. Do you think it's worth it? Yes, for me, I would say it's worth it, even though we have those issues, we have those problems. Even the first few months that I came here, I won't even lie, for the first 3 to 4 months, I was completely detached from that business, because I was busy with you all know, if you're an OG on this channel, you know my struggles since I came into the UK. Apartment, settling in and all that is not always that easy. So I was completely detached from the business. Thankfully, I have capable hands that were running it for me while I was doing my thing here. So during those periods, even at times when they call me to complain about certain things, what just comes to mind is, in fact, I think I'm just going to close this business. I've had that thought severally. I'm just like, I'm just going to close this business. In fact, I don't want all extra stress on top of the one I'm going through here. You know that feeling and all that. But then I still get encouraged that no, just like my husband will always say, okay, just leave the business, do your thing here, just try and settle it, forget about the business, let them keep running it, and later I know you have a rethink. And which is what happened. Then by the time I was well settled in, I was more comfortable and all that, I'm not like, okay, it's time to get back to it. And that's it. And it's worth it. Why I said it's worth it is that at least you have something going there. I've not worked since I came to the UK. I've not worked, and as it is now, I'm working in my own in my own company, partly. I won't say full-time. It's more like a part-time job for me because I have people running it. It's more like a part-time job for me. But then you still find out that you still make profits, unless you're into a business that maybe by the end of the month, maybe you decide to do it for a year, and by the end of the year you've done your inventory and you find out that you're not making any profit, then there is no point keeping the business. So, which is one thing I told myself before, while I was making that decision, that I was going to run the business for a year, fully 1 year, and then if it's not yielding any income, there will be no point keeping it. So which is what I've been doing. I've been more intentional about it right now, about our sales and profit. Even though in the past, if I had not been taking that seriously, I take my spreadsheets very, very seriously right now, because I need to know the profit. Even at the point during my inventory, I had to create a chart where by the time we put in we take our monthly inventory, it just automatically shows me the bar if if our profit last month was higher than this month's profit, or it was lower. So with that chart, I'm able to easily see that, oh, we didn't make much profit this month. What happened? We have to go through it and know the things that we did not do right and all that, and what cost it. So I'm more intentional about it right now, so that by the end of the year, I'm able to say, okay, I made so amount from this business, is good enough amount for me to continue. Because if it's not, then there is no point running a business if you're not in it. But for now, if you ask me, is it worth it? I'll say yes, it's worth it. It's worth giving it a try. Lastly, I know while you're watching this video, you're probably considering moving abroad, and you have a business that you're running, and you're considering if you should keep running your business or not. So I know the question in your mind might be, should you run a business in Nigeria while living abroad? What I would say is that if it's a new business you want to start, because I think I've had this conversation with a subscriber on my Instagram before. She asked for the advice, and my advice still remains the same. If it's a new business, maybe you're planning to move and you're trying to start up a business, you're starting to start up a business before moving, I won't say that is advisable, because now you cannot start a business unless maybe you want to do it a year before you move. So at least you've run the business by yourself, you've trained your staffs, you've put so many things in place before you move. So you are able to run the business for a full 1 year, and you've trained your staff to the extent that you don't need to micromanage them anymore, and you feel it can stand on its own, then fine. Yes, I would say yes, it's worth it. I would say yes, you should, if you've seen that this business is something that has prospects, that is yielding income, that this business, yes, it's giving you the money is yielding enough income, yes, do it. But if it's something that you want to start, maybe because you're moving, you don't want to start up a business, probably open it for 1 month and then you move and leave it in the hand of somebody, I wouldn't advise that. Please don't, because at the end of the day, you might not make that money and then you end up spending more money. I won't advise that. But if it's a business, if it's an existing business that you have been running, yes, of course, do I'll probably make a video of how all the processes I did before moving. Like I said before, that the first time I traveled, I stayed up to almost a year. I did not plan the business and it really affected I did not plan myself and it really affected my business. So if you like to see a video of how I'm able to set up some things, the things I was able to set in place for my business to run comfortably without me, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll probably make a detailed video on the processes we do and the ones we currently do now for me to monitor my business while I'm here and it's still running effectively. So I would say, yes, it's worth it. You can run a business if you're living abroad. You can run a business while you can run a business in Nigeria while living abroad. If it's an existing business, yes, of course you can. Yes, I'm doing it. I'm doing it, and it's almost a year now that I've been doing it, and I think, yes, it's something that I think I want to continue doing. But if it's a new business, or if you're already living in the UK and you're planning to go open a business back in Nigeria while you're living here, I would say do your research properly. Do your research depending on the kind of business you want to do too. So you need to do your research, know if it's something you will be able to do very, very well. Because if you're living here already and you now want to go start up a new business back in Nigeria, you already know that you need to travel more often to manage the business to the point that it will be able to stand properly without you being there. So do your research very, very well. Even if it's an existing business, I urge you to also do your research very, very well. Know if it's something you will still want to continue, and if it will profit you too. So you have to just do your pros and cons and to know if it's something you really want to do, if you get what I mean. Okay, so but for me, I would say yes, it's worth it, and yeah, it's okay. I've been able to cover most things that I plan to say today. I hope this video was helpful. Like I said, if you like to see a video of the things that I was able to put in place before coming and how we currently manage the business, how I currently manage my staff and the business while I'm staying here, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll make a detailed video on that. So on that note, we have come to the end of today's video. I hope this was helpful. I hope this has encouraged someone in any way. If it has, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and yeah, I'm looking forward to discussing more on business and finance and money related videos like this. I don't think I've done anything like that on my channel before, but because you guys asked, I will deliver. So yeah, let me know the kind of video you like to see next in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.